The Secrets of Happiness, a Stoic tale of burden, beauty, and the peace we overlook. What if happiness was never far, just hidden behind everything you forgot to notice? What if the weight you carry isn't the problem, but the way it blinds you to joy? And this story doesn't ask you to drop your burdens, only to look up, even as you carry them. In a quiet village, tucked between endless rolling hills and kissed by golden morning light, lived an old man named Kavi. He had no riches, no property, no worldly achievements. Yet, he was known by all as the happiest man in the village. He moved through life like a calm river, slow, present, and unshaken. He spoke gently, listened deeply, and smiled often, not with the surface grin of politeness, but with the unshakable ease of a man who had made peace with life. Many were curious. They wondered, how can a man with so little seem so content, while we, who have so much, feel so restless? No one had ever seen Kavi in anger, or in envy, or in despair. His joy was not loud. It was steady, and that made it powerful. One day a young man named Arjun returned to the village after years of grinding life in the city. Arjun had climbed the ladders others feared to touch. He earned well, dressed sharply, owned a fine apartment. He had the things most people chase for decades, but something inside him was empty. He had collected success, yet lost his smile. So he came to Kavi and said, "I don't understand. I've done everything right. I followed the path they told me to follow. I worked hard. I made money. I bought things. I reached my goals. But I feel numb, tired, as though life is passing me by. You seem truly happy, please." Kavi looked into Arjun's eyes, not to judge, but to understand. Then he said calmly, "Come meet me tomorrow morning. At the river I will show you something." The next day, just as the sky turned from charcoal to blue, Arjun arrived. Kavi was already there, holding a small, clear jar filled to the brim with still water. He handed it to Arjun and said, "Take this, hold it steady, walk behind me, and make sure not a single drop spills." Arjun nodded, curious. And they walked. They passed through winding paths and familiar alleys. The village woke around them. Birds sang like poets in the trees. Children laughed as they chased one another through the streets. The scent of fresh bread drifted from the marketplace. But Arjun noticed none of it. His eyes were locked on the jar. Every tiny movement, every uneven stone on the ground, every gust of wind, his whole being was focused on keeping that water from spilling. After a long walk, they returned to the riverside. Kavi asked, "Tell me, did you see the flowers that bloomed along the path? Did you hear the laughter of the children? Did you taste the air filled with bread and sunlight?" Arjun shook his head slowly. "I was focused entirely on not spilling the water." Kavi smiled. "This jar," he said softly, "is your life. It holds your goals, your ambitions, your responsibilities, your fears. Most people carry it this way, so tightly focused on not failing, not falling, not spilling anything, that they forget to look up, to breathe, to live." Then, without another word, he refilled the jar and handed it back. "This time," he said, "but hold the jar and notice the world." So they walked. Arjun still held the jar, but now he lifted his eyes. He saw the dew on the petals of flowers swaying in the breeze. He smiled back at the children who waved at him, and he laughed when a little boy fell and popped up again, giggling. A kind baker offered him a piece of warm bread, and he tasted it as if for the first time. When they returned, Kavi looked at him. "And now?" he asked. Arjun's face glowed. "The jar is still full, but so is my heart." Kavi nodded. "This is the secret. Life will always ask you to carry something. Responsibility, duty, dreams, and even pain. But if you carry it with clenched fists, eyes fixed only on the struggle, you will miss the beauty along the path. True happiness is not found in ignoring your burdens, but in learning how to live alongside them." That walk changed something in Arjun. Something subtle, something permanent. He realized he didn't need to escape his responsibilities. He only needed to change the way he held them. He returned to the city. Same job, same schedule, same world. But he carried himself differently. He paused to feel the morning sun before work. He greeted the doorman with presents. He called his parents just to hear their voices. He listened more. He laughed more. He lived more. Happiness is not a finish line. It is a companion. It does not wait at the top of the mountain. It walks beside you, if only you look. The task is not to carry less, but to see more. So if this story touched something quiet in you, if it reminded you of what you've forgotten to notice, Then walk with us. Subscribe to Stoic Zen, a place where ancient wisdom meets everyday life, where we slow down just enough to see the truth behind the noise. The river is still flowing. The flowers are still blooming. Let's not miss them.